Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you today? I hope all of you always be healthy. The purpose of making in this video is to fulfill the text lesson English for chemistry. First of all, let's say thanks to our God. Because of God a blessing so we can learning, watching and in this my video. And honorable my lecturer Mr. Ardi Widhia Sabekti S.Pd M.Pd as support lesson English for chemistry. Secondly, before I explain about my material, I will introduce myself. My name is Ujatmiko. I'm higher student in Chemistry Education Dapertement, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education Maritim Raja Ali Haji University. Okay, today I want to explain about phenomenon of chemistry is acid urine. What is acid urine? Acid urine is any forms of precipitation with high level of nitrate and sulfuric acid. It can occur in the forms of snow, fog, and even dry material that settle to earth. Most acid urine is caused by human activity. When people burn fossil fuels, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are released into the atmosphere. The process of acid urine. This image illustration the pathway for acid urine is our environment. 1. Emission of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are released into the air. 2. The pollutants are transformed into acid particles that may be transported long distance. 3. Trace acid particles that fall to the earth as wet and dry deposition. 4. May cause harmful effect on soil, forests, streams, and lakes. Acid urine results when sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are emitted into the atmosphere and transformed by wind and air current. The sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide react with water, oxygen, and another chemical to form sulfuric and nitric acid. This then mix with water and other material before falling to the ground. While a small portion of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide that cause acid urine is from natural sources of volcanoes. Most of it comes from the borings of fossil fuels. Each compound that has been joined will be carried by the winds to a higher place. When the mixture of components is reached the saturation point, it will cause raindrops where the falling rainwater can acid. The flowing is the chemical reaction for the acid urine to form. What is product when fossil fuels containing sulfur are burned? When the coal is burned, the sulfur and the carbon atom join with oxygen from the air and release into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. In the presence of sunlight, a photochemical reaction will take place where sulfur dioxide reacts with more oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. This dissolves in the rainwater from sulfuric acid. Let's now consider how nitric acid gets into the rain. In the high temperature conditions in the cylinder of motor vehicle and small amount of nitrogen and oxygen from the air and react. Remember that are taken into combustion the fuels near 18% nitrogen. On exhaust, gas from vehicle contains small but significant amount of nitrogen oxide. When the oxide of nitrogen are the just reached with more oxygen, just like we saw with sulfur dioxide and dissolved in the rainwater from nitric acid. If the rains fall the limestone soil, which are alkali, the acidity may be neutralized. However, if the rains land of natural of acid soil or vegetations, then it can cause damage. The causes of acid rain. Something that can cause acid rain. 1. Sulfur and nitrogen. Sulfur and nitrogen, product from industry, electronic generation, from motor vehicle, and ammonia product from agriculture activity can use acid rain. Both of the component of the result of the combustion process. In addition, sulfur is also a compound derived from forest fire and result of volcanic eruption. Sulfur dioxide is one of the causes of acid rain. The compound is product from various combustion process, such as industries that produce crude oil, from oil mills, and the metal industry. In addition, sources of sulfur dioxide were also obtained from volcanic eruptions and motor fission. Nitrogen oxide is compound that causes acid rain. The compounds are dangerous for the environment. The compound is product from the various processes such as high temperature combustion. An example in the chemical fertilizer and the drugs industry. 2. Air population. Some the gas that can cause acid rain are carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, but of the compounds from motor vehicle population and the result of the combustion process. These compounds, when mixed with water and forms carbonic acid, are often known as weak acid. In addition, hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide can also cause acid rain. Both of these compounds are the result of breathing and the burning sulfur. Both of the third compound, when mixed with water, will form sulfuric acid, which belongs to the groups of strong acid. In general, rainwater already contains acid caused by carbon dioxide content, but the pH is still around 6. Where in the area with air population that so separate, the acidity level is high, so the pH is getting lower. 3. Human activity. Various human activity such as physical, heavy equipment, manufacturing oil, refineries and other industry, and also expensive use of coal and petroleum can trigger acid rain. In addition, acid rain can also be caused by volcanic eruption. The existence of various biological processes can also trigger acid rain. Forms of acid deposition. 1. Wet deposition. Wet deposition is what we most commonly think of acid rain. The sulfuric and nitric acid formed in the atmosphere fill the grounds of mixture with rain, snow, fog, and ice. 2. Dry deposition. Acidic particles and gas can also deposit from the atmosphere in the absence of moisture of distress deposition. The acidic particle and gas may deposit to surface as water body, vegetation, building, and quicker or minerals during atmosphere transport the bronze layer particle that can be harmful to human health. When the accumulate acid hours of a surface by the next rain, this acidic water power over and threats the ground's current harmless way of life, such as insects and the amount of acidity in the atmosphere that deposit to Earth. Such a decomposition depends on the amount of rainfall on area. For example, in desert area and the ratio of dry to wet deposition is higher in the area that several inches of rain is there. Measuring acid rain. Acidity and alkalinity are measured using a pH scale for which 7 is neutral. The lower a substance pH less, the more acidic. Is the higher a substance pH greater, the more alkali. Normally, rain has pH about 5.6. In sunlight, acid because carbon dioxide disperses into its forming with carbon acid. Acid rain usually has a pH between 4.2 and 4.1.
The National Atmospheric Deposition Program and National Trends Network collects acid rain at more than 215 monitoring sites throughout the Canada, Hawaii, and the US Virgin Islands. Unlike wet deposition, dry deposition is difficult and expensive to measure. Dry deposition images for nitrogen and sulfur populates are provided by the Clean Air Status and Trade Network. Air concentrations are measured by Kensted at more 19 locations. When acid decomposition is washed into light and strain, it can cause some deterrence acid. The long-term monitoring and monitor sulfur water chemistry at over 218 sites to provide follow-up information and aquatic ecosystem health and the whole water body's response to changes in acid causing emission and acid deposition.
The effect of acid rain. 1. The effect of acid rain on ecosystem. This figure illustrates the pH level at which the organism might be lost and the environmental become more acidic. Not always selfish, although instead that they each can tolerate the same amount of acid.
An ecosystem is community of plants, animals, and other organisms, along with their environment including the air, water, and soil. Everything in ecosystem is connected. If something harms one of parts of ecosystem, one species of plant or animal, the soil or the water it can help and in parts of everything else. 1. Effect of acid rain on fish and wildlife. The ecological effect of acid rain are more clearly seen in aquatic environment, such as streams, lakes, and marshes, where it can be harmful to birds and other wildlife. As it flows through the soil, acidic rain water can help aluminum from soil clay particles and the dirt into terms and the lake. The more acid that introduced to the ecosystem, the more aluminum is released. Sometimes, plants and animals are able to tolerate acid water and tremendous amounts of aluminum. However, are sensitive and will be lost in a P.E.D. site. Generally, the young of most species are the most sensitive to environmental conditions than adults. At PA5, most fish cannot hurt. At lower pH levels, some adult fish die. Some acidic lakes have no fish. Even if species of fish or animal can tolerate acid water, the animal or plant it may not. For example, frogs have a critical pH around 5, but mammals there are the sensitive and may not surpass pH below 5.5. 2. Effect of acid rain on plant and tree. Dead or dying trees are common sight in area affected by acid rain. Acid rain raises aluminum from the soil. That aluminum might be helpful to plants as well as animals. Acid rain also removes mineral and nutrients from the soil that trees need to the ground. At high pollutions, acidic pulp and clothes may trap nutrients from tree foliage leaf, the which grow or that live in the net. The trees are then less able to disrupt sunlight, which make them weak and less able to withstand freezing temperature. 3. Buffering capacity. Many forests, streams, and lakes that experience acid rain don't sulfur effect because the soil in the thirst area can buffer the acid rain by neutralizing the acidity in the rainwater flowing its way. The capacity depends on the traits and the composition of the soil and types of bedrocks on the right. In area such as mountains part of the North United, the soil is and lack and the ability to neutralize and acid rain the water rain. As a result, these areas are particularly vulnerable and the acid and aluminum can cumulative in the soil, stream, or lake. Four, episodic acidification. Melting snow and heavy rain downpour can result in what is known as episodic acidification. Lakes that not normally have a high level of acidity temporarily experience effect of acid rain. When the melting snow of downpour brings greater amounts acid decomposition and the soil devaporates. The short duration of higher acidity can result in extreme stress at ecosystem where a variety of organisms or species may be injured or killed. 5. Nitrogen population. It's not just the acidity of acid rain that can cause problems. Acid rain also contains nitrogen and this can have an impact on some ecosystems. For example, nitrogen population in our coastal water is apparently responsible for deceased fish and shells population in some areas. In addition to agriculture and wastewater, most of the nitrogen produced by human activity that reach coastal water come from the atmosphere. 2. Effect of acid rain on material. Not all acidic deposition is wet. Something this particle can become acidic as well, and this is called dry deposition. When acid rain and dry acidic particle fall to earth, nitric and sulfuric acid that make the particle. Acidic can lead buildings, other nominate structure, and the mixture substance. The acidic particle creates material and cause paint and stone that decorates more quickly. They also dirty substance of buildings and other structures such as moment. 3. Other effect of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. 1. Visibility. In the atmosphere, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide gas and be transferred into sulfur and nitrate particle. While some nitrate oxide can also relate with other populates to form ozone. The particle and ozone makes the air lazy and difficult see to the third. This affects our enjoyment for national parks that we visit for the science view, such as Great Smoky Mountain. Two, human health. Walking in acid rain or even swimming in lake affected by acid rain is not more dangerous to human than walking in normal rain or swimming in non-acid lake. However, then the populace that cause acid rain, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, as well as sulfur and nitrate particle in the air, they can harmful the human. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide relate in the atmosphere to form the sulfur and nitrate particle the people can inhale into the earth. Many scientific studies have labs relations between their particle and effect on heart functions, such as attack resonance in deaths for people with recent heart disease and the effect on lung functions such as breathing difficulties from people with asthma.
Solution. There are several solutions in stopping minimum acid rain. Regulating the emissions coming from physical and building is important step according to EPA. This can be done by restraining the use of fossil fuel and pushing on more sustainable energy sources such as solar and wind. Also, each person can do their part by reducing their physical use. Use public transportation, walking, reading a book or couplings is a good start, according to EPA. People can also reduce their use of electronics with a better life, crash with fossil fuels, or switch to solar plant. Many electronic companies offer solar packages and their customers that request installations at low cost. Sorry for mistake and thank you for attention to me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share in this my video. See you later. Enjoy your